That seems good.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Also, does this sound okay?
All right, let's.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then I guess I will start. What item are you? I'm sure it's the first time that you've had to consider that, because I know it's the first time I've given any thought to it. But through this speech, I hope to provide insight as to why I am the object that I am. With some background knowledge, an item that best represents me, and a general look into my goals for the future, I hope you all, my peers, will have a better understanding of who I am. I was born on July 26, 2002, which means I'm a Leo. I completed a family of 4, making me the youngest of 3 children, raised by a hardworking single mother. For the duration of my life, I lived in Winter Haven, Florida. I just recently moved to Orlando for college. A few things about me. My favorite color is red, and I hate cilantro like more than any food in the entire world. But I've actually heard that's a genetic thing, but I'm not actually sure. And I love animals. Sometimes when I'm bored, I even drive to the pet store just to see how cute they are. I love them so much. They make me feel pretty calm and happy. Like some of you, I moved away from home, making it a little more lonely, I guess. So I actually considered getting a bunny to make it less lonely. Some of my hobbies and interests include baking, watching anime, and listening to music. I basically listen to music 24/7 as much as I humanly can. My love for music has always been a part of who I am. Since age 9, I began playing trumpet and have loved instruments ever since. Speaking of trumpet, that's actually the item I think that best represents me. So, like I said, I was sure it was odd for you trying to imagine what object you are if you had to choose. But this is my item. This is actually not my only trumpet, it's the first trumpet I ever got. I have a professional trumpet now, but it's a Yamaha. It's like so torn up. There's like, I have a hair tie holding it together. It's ridiculous, but everyone's first instinct when they see a trumpet is to press the 3 shiny buttons on the top. But when you learn more about it and you spend time appreciating it, you come to see the complexity of it, which I think that can relate to most people in general. You know, there's a lot to learn that you couldn't tell just from the outside. It looks so weird, but yeah, music helps me express myself in a way that words can't. So, of course, it's the object that's closest to me. I speak through music. So, yeah, I think this is an item that very accurately represents me. And despite my love for music, I don't think I'm going to continue to play in the future. Like, I'll play as a hobby, but it's not something I see myself doing as a career, which is sad, but also a good thing. Future. Future. I don't see myself playing in the future as a job. But in the future, I plan to major in software engineering. I'm a biology major right now, but I found out it's so boring to me. Like, no offense to anyone that's a biology major. We need biology majors, but I just can't get interested. And with software engineering, I think there's a lot of things you can do with a skill set like that. Um, Things that are important to me career wise. I want to work for myself. I don't do well like having a boss, which I'm sure most people want to work for themselves, but that's imperative for me. And the second thing, I just want to be genuinely happy with whatever career I'm doing, despite money, despite everything. I just really want to enjoy what I'm doing, so it doesn't feel like a chore to wake up and do it. But after all that, after opening up and sharing a little bit about myself, an item that represents me and some of my goals, I hopefully have provided some insight into who I am and what I represent. Better yet, what represents me. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
Good job.
That was good.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Who wants to go next? Or can I go next?
Sure.
All right. So, all right. So, according to a study made in 2016 by the University of Barcelona in Spain, actually found that around 3 to 5% of individuals didn't feel an impactful emotional response when listening to music. And just wanted to say that I'm not one of these people. With the spread of, COVID and quarantine lasting way longer than any of us could have expected, I'm sure most of us have found something interesting to do in our house, right? Not being able to go out. Uh, Generally, that hobby for me has always been music. I grew up in Puerto Rico, and when I was 7 years old, I got a small blue guitar and a couple months of private lessons just so I could learn the basics. And it was tough at the beginning, but I fell in love with it. I kept going with it throughout elementary school and even joined my school choir, which helped me in my reading abilities and also my performance. Uh, Past that, I continued on with it in middle school after I moved here from Puerto Rico because my family was in search of a better life and just more opportunities than was being offered over there. And I was thankfully able to continue with that. And I even picked up another instrument, that being the cello. And just because I've listened to music for so long and it's been such a big part of my life, I thought it was pretty fitting for me to choose an instrument that I play. And as for my object of choice, I'd have to say that it's my ukulele. But yeah, I think this thing is fantastic. I've been playing it for around 5 years and I don't regret a minute of it, even with all the stigma that's come around from it nowadays from other people. And just a few reasons why I enjoy this so much is mainly because of its happy and sometimes, melancholic sound that's just really unique to the instrument. And I also love its portability. I used to take this to school or to high school, which, yeah, seems like a bit much, and it is. But to an extent, honestly, I needed it. For me, it served as a sort of portable sanctuary that I could just take a couple minutes, sit down, play some music, and just recollect myself whenever I was faced with a tough situation. And it honestly even helped me mourn the loss of a friend, which was a bit rough for me. And I just feel that my ability to play music has given me access to so many experiences that I never would have found otherwise. Experiences that include lessons that were taught to me by others, professors, teachers, and ones that I've actually discovered myself, which helped to improve me as a person. And my overarching life goal has just always been to become a better and more well-rounded person, right? I do that by trying to accomplish goals that put me out of my comfort zone, or just generally the overall goal of me trying to be more consistent and responsible about what I have to do and what work and when I have to do it. Overall, just in short, music has impacted my life in such a profound, positive way that I'm honestly not sure what I would have done without it. And it's allowed me to it's allowed me to flourish socially and helped my mental and physical health throughout all these years. And if I had one thing to say about this is just, if you're ever interested in music, just give it a shot. I have a friend right now who's just picking up the guitar. It's, obviously a little later in his life, but it's so amazing what it could do and just what things you could discover with it. And I honestly think that's fantastic. So I just think if you see an opportunity or if you're interested in something, I think you should chase that. Thank you.
Good job.
Good job.
Nice.
I liked that.
Could I go next?
Sure.
Hey guys, my name is Garrett Adams, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about myself and my background, and using as well as an object that describes me and some of my goals for the future. So to start with, I'm a computer science major, and my hobbies are like to code, like to work out, play video games, watch some anime, and listen to music. I was born and raised in Florida, and I lived in Odessa all my life, which is not a lot of people know where it is, but it's like pretty close to Tampa, just a little bit off. I lived there all my life, but then just recently I moved to Orlando for college. And the move was pretty easy, honestly, so it wasn't that bad. I ended up coming to UCF because the computer science program looked really good, and the campus was really beautiful. So, like starting around high school, I started like getting really interested in computers and stuff, not just video games, but like more the coding aspect of it and like how they work, delving deeper into that. And there is like multiple like computer science courses offered at my high school, and that really helped me get more into it. And that's when I started taking it seriously and just like kind of putting more of my time into it and doing something I enjoyed. And also around that same time, I wasn't very happy with like how my body looked or how I felt about myself, and I was also just bored in general. I wanted something new to do, and so that led me to start working out. And I started working out with my dad and my brother, and then that was like late ninth grade. And then since then, I've been going to the gym like consistently, almost every day. And I know like we're all college students, so we know like we get a lot of stress from our work and everything, and that's just been like my main way of like de-stressing and like kind of feeling a bit more peaceful. Just like gives me something to take it out on, I guess. Like clears my mind. So for my item, I chose my lifting belt. And I chose this because I got it around like when I started taking lifting really seriously. And I use this for squat and deadlifts. And basically how it works is you just like put it on like this. And then you like kind of you like breathe in and like brace your stomach as hard as you can against it, and that gives like more support to your lower back and keeps you more stable. And yeah, I just chose that because it kind of represents like my journey through lifting, because it's all like worn and torn and like kind of like degraded down since I've had it for so long, and it just kind of symbolizes me like how long I've been lifting and stuff like that. And then so some of my goals in the future. I'd like to complete my computer science degree, and then I'd like to go into. I'm not sure exactly what field I want to go into, because I think cybersecurity could be a really cool area to go to, but also maybe game development would be nice. And then another goal I have is just to keep going to the gym and hit some specific numbers. Like I'd like to have like a 600-pound deadlift, but that's pretty far off, and then maybe like a 500 squat. But that's like just long-term goals. Just that'll probably happen if I stick with it for the long term. So I hope you guys learned a lot about me in this speech, some of my background, and what I like doing and enjoy my time, and what I like to enjoy my time with, and some of my goals in the future. That's it.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Should I go next then? Since
Yeah. So
should I wait for? Oh, okay, yeah, he's back. Okay. Okay. Let me lay those out. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Jenna, and today I'll be telling you about my journey thus far in life and how I ended up at UCF after moving around my whole life. So, I was born July 1st, 2002. I'm currently 18 years old, almost 19. But I was born just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, in a town called Smyrna. And I lived there for about 3 years until I moved to Louisiana, Baton Rouge. It's about a little close to the coast. and I lived there for about a year. And then I moved to Mississippi, where I lived for 4 years. And then I finally moved to right outside Central Florida when I was about 9. So I've been here for most of my growing years. So this is where I call my home. This is where I grew up, even though I've lived in multiple different states and lived and moved away from people. But I also have 3 biological brothers. I say biological because one thing that my family does a lot is take in exchange students. So I've had multiple host brothers from around the world, and it's so cool to have that different things in your life, and you learn about new foods and new places, and it's just really cool. So I still consider them my family and my brothers and all that kind of stuff. I also have 2 pets currently. I have a pet dog named Winston and a bearded dragon named Hammy Montana. His name is Hammy because he is quite chunky. I also got him recently. We rescued him from one of our old neighbors. So yeah, I'm very into pets, and when I was little, I wanted to be a veterinarian, like most little girls, I think. But I eventually grew out of that phase, but I always have it in the back of my mind, like I could just spend hours with pets and animals and try to help them. But one thing that really drove my life throughout my whole life, the one consistent thing that I have in my life is sports. So I've played soccer my whole life until I was about 16 when I stopped. And that was because I started playing water polo my freshman year of high school, and I absolutely fell in love with it. If you don't know what water polo is, it's kind of a mixture of different sports, but you play it in the water and you have a ball and you try to score on a goal. But it's very aggressive and it's quite hard because you're swimming around and people are trying to drown you, and it's pretty intense, but I like it a lot. So I'm currently playing that with UCF, but because of COVID, it's not that organized, but that's how everything is right now. So I ended up at UCF, and I'm currently majoring in computer science. I'm looking to either go into the cybersecurity field or game development field. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me and how I ended up here and all the things I've gone through. So the object that best describes me, I think, well, I actually asked my friend because I couldn't come up with anything. So this is what my friend thinks the best object describes me, and it is a lamp. This lamp isn't your standard looking lamp. This is the only one I could find, but it still has lights and stuff. So the reason I think a lamp best describes me, or my friend thinks the lamp best describes me, sorry, I couldn't find it, is that she believes that I brighten up the rooms and people that I walk into. I have been told that throughout, I'm very into church, and I go to certain places, and that's one thing that the new people always tell me, is that I seem to brighten up the room and make everyone laugh and stuff like that. But another reason I believe that a lamp can represent me is that I can also be dark and hidden in certain rooms. When I want to be, I can be shy, and I can read situations where light isn't needed. And yeah, and I'm also throughout high school, like I said, I was in water polo and soccer, and I was the team captain my junior and senior year on both teams. So I also think a lamp represents me well because I can be a leader. I can light the way, I can show people, I can help them grow, and I can just be represent certain things very well. So now I'll go on to my goals in life. So my short-term goals are that hopefully once COVID passes and stuff like that, I can hopefully get internships. I've already had an internship or an intern camp thing with EA Sports, which is a game development company. They make all the sport games. So I'm hoping to get more internships that can help me after college and hopefully have something to do with computer science. And I also want to graduate with a computer science degree with a good GPA, hopefully. And I also want to have fun throughout college. I want to make friends, do things, all those sorts of things. And my long-term goals in life are to get a good job in the software community, somewhere in the game industry, or maybe in the cybersecurity. I've been more into the game industry lately because of COVID, I've been playing more games with friends. I've been learning more things about those. So I've been looking more into the game industry and creating those kind of things. And then more of my personal long-term goals are, I hope to have some sort of job that lets me travel to different places. I love to travel, I love to see new things, and I love to try new foods. So that's one thing. And another long-term goal is to hopefully live long, not to have a good life and stuff like that. Well, I hope you guys learned stuff about me, and thank you.
Good job.
Good job.
I like that a lot.
Oh my goodness, that was scary.
You did very good.
Thank you.
All right, I'll finish it up.
All right.
Whether you think about it or not, everyone collects something in their life. It could be as simple as coins, stamps, books, or something as complicated as scale models. I consider myself one of these people, a collector. I've acquired many things in my life. I started with toy cars and Legos, but I really got serious once I got my own job because I could use my own money to buy what I really wanted to buy. However, I feel that I started my most interesting collection about a year ago. We sometimes can't relate to what other people like, but we can relate to the fact that we all have something that we have that's important to us. If we're collectors, we pride ourselves in our collections. We feel that they really matter to us. I didn't consider myself a collector as a kid. As a kid, you just ask your parents for something, try to convince them to get it for you, and you don't think much of it afterwards. I started with toy cars and Legos, but I gradually fell out of liking the toy cars. However, even today, I still have Legos all around this house, in shelves, cabinets, any kind of model, any kind of series you can imagine. My grandfather was in World War II. He served in the Pacific. My family kept a lot of mementos that he had from the war, and I recently got my hands on them. I feel that seeing these things and knowing the history behind them really encouraged me to start looking for more military memorabilia. I think that military items have the most interesting backstories because they could have been anywhere in the world and seen anything. So I started my military collection with a helmet, but this is the most interesting item that I think I've gotten. So this is a 1960s Russian naval cap. This brim right here translates to something like naval fleet. I don't speak Russian, so I just use Google Translate. I just want everyone to know I'm not a communist. I just think it's a really interesting item. It's really, intricate with the badge here, the wording, and these little tassels are kind of funny. They just hang off the back. Anyways, I don't know the complete history behind the hat. I know why it was made, who it was made for, but I don't know the man who owned it, what he did, and why he joined the Navy. But I think that not knowing those things is nearly as fascinating as actually knowing them. So I feel this way about my other items, but I really wanted to show this cap off. I intend to grow my collection, but right now I want to focus on getting through high school. College. I want to graduate with a degree in aerospace engineering, and I either want to be a pilot or an aircraft designer. I tend to keep my eye open for other items to add to my collections, so hopefully I can find something that's pretty cool. So I keep track of the things that I have. I want to make sure that they're all neat and I know where they are at all times. I enjoy learning about mostly modern history, so that's kind of why I started collecting military stuff, also because of my grandfather. It's just sort of become a hobby of mine that I hope to continue. So the items I have all tell a story, but in a way I might not ever know the full story of those items. They were all owned by somebody. They could have been anywhere in the world, or the person could be gone. However, I intend to start a new chapter in the history of these items by preserving them and keeping them for people of the future to see. Thanks.
Good job. That's very interesting.
Thanks.
I have a friend who likes
Yeah.
I have a friend who likes antique weapons.
Oh yeah? Yeah. I'm not really into collecting guns, but
Yeah. No, I know it's not for everyone, but it's just something he likes doing.
Yeah, it's
I'm not doing it. But yeah, it's really cool.
thanks. Now, it's cool to hear about your guys' stuff too. It was really awesome.
Yeah. Good job, everyone. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
So did everybody get a recording? Do I need to send one to
I
anybody?
got it this time.
again, I don't
Was
have
it? Okay.
can.
Yeah, I can send it.
Right.
All right, cool.
All right. Good job, everybody.
Good job, guys.
All right.
I'll send the recording to you soon, Jose.
Right.
See you guys later.